Technical Working Group of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure conducted its fifth closed-door asset recovery meeting in connection with the flood control anomalies. Joining us now, we have TWWG Chair and Acting Executive Director of the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, Aboy Paraiso. Magandang umaga sa inyo, Chair. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Gretchen. Thanks for having me back.
You had your fifth closed-door meeting yesterday. Can you give us the latest updates now on the asset recovery efforts?
Well, we decided and we all agreed that the TWWG would continue despite, like you said, uncertainties of whether the ICI would still pursue. But I think now I think it's a more concerted effort. Everybody was on board. Everybody went on board with the two particular systems. One is the spreadsheet given and developed by our friends from the Bureau of Customs when it comes to getting a visibility on the actual assets that are seized and foreclosed, two, those that are frozen, and three, those that are pending application to be frozen. So that's one. And then I think two is the finalization of that dashboard wherein every agency can access and contribute and request for documentation, and then it would be stored so it would be ready for everyone in our efforts for one, assets recovery, and two, case build-ups.
Okay, and would you have a specific amount as to how much has been recovered already at nasaan po itong assets na ito? Who are they with?
So, when it comes to the actual assets that are seized and foreclosed, I think we have around 30 vehicles comprising of, if I'm not mistaken, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20. I'm bad at math. Sorry. Around 21 motor vehicles, 9 air assets, 9 helicopters, and 2 jets. And then I think around more than close to 300 million pesos that were surrendered as part of restitution of individuals seeking witness protection or state witness status with the DOJ. And as far as frozen assets, I've not reported that we are at 21.7 billion worth of assets frozen.
Okay. Puntahan ko muna yung sinabi niyo ho na 300 million pesos already surrendered and returned. No? Are you referring to the amount that has been returned by Engineer Henry Alcantara? On paper, he has officially returned 181 million pesos. Ano ho mga amounts? Would you know?
So I'm this is like the aggregate amount of the from Engineer Alcantara, I think from Usec Bernardo, and I think Bryce Hernandez. So I'll get back to you with the exact amount. That's what the spreadsheet is for, which we can all access. We decided yesterday, and everyone agreed that they would be on board, so we can see actual numbers of and the results of our efforts when it comes to assets recovery.
Okay. Kasi may usap-usapin, no? There are questions surrounding the amount that Engineer Alcantara has returned, 181 million pesos, yet he was able to splurge $500 million pesos in a casino. How does that reconcile? Magkano pa po hinahabol ng TWWG?
So, ang sinasabi namin, Gretchen, our target is not to recover 100%, but even more than 100% of what they actually stole from the people's money, because you have to remember, in a judgment, hindi lang naman binabawi kung ano yung nanakaw na amount. there are fines and penalties that are included in the judgment. So, yun ang hinahabol natin na ma-recover at ma-freeze. Actually, yung mas malaking trabaho namin, Gretchen, yung pag-preserve ng asset. Kasi upon judgment, doon pa lang actually makuha yung perang yan.
Pero meron kayong oversight po dito sa kung ano yung actual amount that is with Engineer Alcantara, with Bryce Hernandez, with the Usec Bernardo, the BGC boys?
So, if you're talking about oversight, kung ano yung nakikita namin, ano yung actual na pera na nasa kanila, wala. So what we do is we get hold of all the assets under their names, under their immediate family names, so parang makukuha natin talaga sila, and then have them preserved.
To freeze the bank accounts. Mas ganun ho.
Yes. Not only the bank accounts, the freezing, the freeze order includes real property, motor vehicles, and jewelry and other assets. Yeah.
But hindi ho ba parang drop in the bucket lang ho itong mga ibinabalik ho nila sa Philippine government? Given the scale of the money that passes through, paano kaya makaka-recover ang Philippine government ng substantial amount kung hindi po alam kung magkano po yung just putting this side by side yung casino activity pati yung pera na ibinalik, hindi ho ba napakaliit ho nun?
Tama, and we agree na parang what they're nominating to return is a minimal amount kung ano yung nakikita natin figures, but that's the job of really of the TWWG, is to determine what other assets we can go after and then go after those assets. Yung totoo, hindi, if we, yung comparison mo, ito ano yung natatalo sa kasino. Yung comparison namin, yung actual na statements nila, yung ano yung amount of contract at ano yung share nila doon sa contracts na yun. Di ba may parang may pie yan kung ano yung napupunta kay Alcantara Congressman. So that's the basis that we're looking at.
Is it true that the former Usec Roberto Bernardo only surrendered around 7 million?
I think more, but again, to have the exact figure, I think we're waiting on the onboarding of the DOJ as to the amounts that are already surrendered as part of the restitution requirement made by them in order for witnesses to be admitted into their witness protection program and the state witness status.
And going now to the case of Zaldico, lately, January 8, 14 out of 24 vehicles were seized. How was this found? And ano pa po yung challenges when it comes to the air assets because they are owned by Miss Cibis Aviation. So lahat po ba yun pwede nang habulin ng government? I do understand that there are air assets that have been flown out of the country already.
Yep. So, when it comes to the property of former Congressman Ko, we even during the holidays, and dito naman nagpapasalamat tayo sa ibang mga partner agencies natin like the AMLAC, the BOC, I think the SEC, and the PNP, NBI, law enforcement agencies natin. Over the course of the Christmas break, they were able to secure warrants and were able to seize the properties of former Congressman Ko do sa isang condo in BGC. Tapos, and in fact, if you visit the ITI office and headquarters, andun yung mga vehicles na yun. So, and with regard to the air assets, I think that challenge really is, although may mga nasa ibang bansa, the challenge really is the cost that we're incurring. Kasi nagbabayad tayo na parang hangar fee and yung upkeep ng mga air assets na yan kasi hindi pa natin mapalipad dito sa Pilipinas. Because again, they're not located here, so we have to get an actual court order for us to have those vehicles transferred here. But they're already frozen under the effective control of the Philippine government.
Okay.
Even if they're under the name of the corporation, like Misibi's corporation, and I think some of them are under the construction company. We're still going after those assets.
Okay, napapabalitaan din ho na marami hong real property o bahay itong si Congressman Zaldico. Have those been frozen as well? And aantayin ho, pag ganun ho, ano yung status nun? Aantayin ho yung, yung ruling ng courts before doing anything to the properties?
So to give you an idea, Gretchen, of how the application operates is when it comes to certain personalities that are being investigated by the ITI, we inquire on all their assets. So we give out the list of the names of the personalities involved, as well as the corporation and other individuals related to them. We give them out to our partner agencies. So you have the LTO for the motor vehicles, Marina, including the LRA, the Land Registration Authorities, if there are properties that belong to these individuals. Then if there are properties that are registered under their name, we give the list to AMLAC. The AMLAC processes the request for the freezing of these assets to the CA. The CA gives us the order to freeze the assets. Then we freeze the assets. So yun yung process na ina-undergo natin.
Okay. And how about the accounts of Senators Joel Villanueva, Senator Jinggoy Estrada? Are those still frozen?
Well, I believe that some of their accounts are frozen, but I think they have filed from our discussion. I think they have filed and it's within the right to file the motions for reconsideration to have those assets unfrozen. But again, as far as the ICI is concerned, and the technical working group, if you are part of that list that we are investigating and we have filed cases with ombudsman against you, we would be also seeking to preserve those assets, whether in the forms of bank account or other properties.
Pero bakit ho some lang? Why not all?
Kasi parang tinitingnan natin ibang properties pa nila eh. So, again, it's really dependent on the grant of the freeze order by the CA. As far as we're concerned, if we can find any and all of their properties, i-applyan natin yan eh.
Kasi you said some bank accounts of Senator Joel and Senator Jinggoy have been frozen. So, I'm assuming it's not all bank accounts related to them?
So I have to, again, nag-onboard pa lang lahat ng agencies sa mga dashboards namin. So I have to get back to you on that, Gretchen, if ano yung mga na-applyan na natin for freeze order at ano yung actual na nag-grant sa atin.
But they remain to be frozen. Yung at least what the AMLAC has ordered frozen.
At what the CA has ordered
CA
frozen.
rather.
Pero kami, yeah. So pero si AMLAC, the ICI through the AMLAC would request for the freezing of all the assets kasi nga ang goal namin is to preserve those assets eh.
Oh, okay. And what have been the challenges of the TWWG in asset recovery? Ito pong ICI, kinukulang po ng commissioner. Does that hamper you in any way? And what challenges have you been facing in tracing and securing assets?
I think the burden has shifted to the TWWG because nga yung kulang yung mga commissioners and based on the composition of the ICI, Chairman Andy cannot act alone. He needs at least one more commissioner to effectively act as a body. So, but the work of the TWWG, and we talked about this, and we all agreed that it would continue because it's a whole of government approach to help whatever body is investigating and prosecuting this personalities that are involved in that particular scandal. No, so So tuloy-tuloy lang naman yung work namin kasi independent of the ICI, we can still function as a whole of government to preserve these assets. But again, we seek guidance with the ICI. One of the things that we're discussing is a particular order of battle on which individuals and personalities to focus on first. Kasi we have to really focus and follow through on certain individuals before moving on with the new discoveries of new individuals, new corporations, or new contracts that were discovered to be anomalous or subject of these flood control scandals.
Pero sana ho, hindi lang ho yung dilis ang nakukuhanan ho natin. Ano? I mean, the public is waiting for big fish here to at least have some form of accountability that way.
Tama, Gretchen. I think that's the real focus of the order of battle kasi nakikita natin if our estimates are correct, we were dealing with around 2,000 individuals, both natural and juridical. So, mga corporations at mga individuals. So, we really have to prioritize yung mga, like you said, yung mga big fish, saka talagang true masterminds and those who are really behind and were able to perpetrate these crimes. So, I think that's the biggest development of yesterday's discussion. A list to be given to us by the ICI through consultation with the DPWH.
Okay. But dun sa mga assets po ng nila Henry Alcantara, ano pong doon? I mean, ano po yung difference po nung pag-pursue po nung assets nila dun sa pag-pursue ng assets ng mga senador po natin?
Well, there's no difference. Each individual, kasi even if they have the same, they're involved in the same contract, iba-iba yung mga sharing niyan, iba-iba yung mga nakuha niyan. So we go after all those assets. All the people and all the corporations that are involved in this anomaly. So, kami pikit mata, whether it's kasamahan namin or colleague namin sa government or private individuals, as long as they were able to facilitate and participated in the dissipation and stealing of these money, we go after them.
Because the Ombudsman has said that cases of indirect bribery, malversation of public funds, and violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act will be filed against Caloocan Representative Mitch Hayon Uy, former Usec Roberto Bernardo, Henry Alcantara, Senator Joel Villanueva, and Senator Jinggoy Estrada. And another person that we're looking at is the DOJ is looking at is into the case of COA Commissioner, former COA Commissioner Mario Lipana. Pati po ba sa kanya ay na-freeze po yung assets niya?
So, I have to get an update on the personalities, Gretchen. But I do believe if na-file na ng kaso yan, it's part of our mission, of our order of battle to freeze those assets. I think ang listahan namin is comprised of 200 plus individuals na hinahabol namin nung lahat ng assets nila, whether it's part of the things or the contracts they stole or some other even if it's legitimately acquired, we go after their assets to be frozen. Again, hindi lang naman yung ninako yung hinahabol namin na ma-preserve, pati lahat ng assets nila. Kasi nga, hindi lang yung pag nagkaroon ng judgment, hindi lang yung, isoli mo yung ninako mo, pero may mga fines and penalties pati. So, we have to preserve all those assets.
And will you release this list to the public, at least the list of names?
That we are up. I have to get back to you on that, kasi we have to decide as a body. Kung ako lang dapat So, but most of the names that you hear and ito na lang, sure, basta nasampahan ng kaso dos Ombudsman, we are freezing the assets of those individuals and corporations.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Maraming salamat for the updates and we'll let you get to the work itself. We know you're busy, man. Maraming salamat for your time. TWWG Chair and CICC Acting Executive Director, Aboy Paraiso.